And so I'm curious if you can tell us a little bit about how New Belgium Brewing sees sustainability as part of its corporate identity, if it does, and what, some of the evolution of how the company sees sustainability.
Sure. Yeah, so our co-founders started the company back in '91 at the very beginning of the craft beer revolution, as you call it. And before they even started selling any beer, they went for a hike in Rocky Mountain National Park to determine what kind of company they wanted to create, what their core values would be. And they came up with 4 of them, one of which was to be environmental stewards. So for New Belgium, that's been baked into our identity from the very beginning. And now, 20-some years later, we have a purpose that all of our coworkers orient around, like why do we come to work every day? And the reason that we say that we do is to manifest our love and talent, so our passion and our excellence, by creating our customers' favorite brands, as well as by proving that business can be a force for good. So we are motivated by the challenge of how can we be commercially successful, financially successful, and still live according to our values.
And so in your role with both strategy and sustainability, how are those two part of the same, or why are they related?
I think that I've been able to bring my sustainability perspective to some of the things that we do in strategy, like a strategic project is site selection. So we have to build another brewery because we're running out of capacity. So how do we choose the location for that is the least impactful or helps us achieve our sustainability goals?
Do you see sustainability as something that the craft beer community or movement as a whole embraces?
I think that craft brewers are the ultimate conscious consumers. So, I mean, they're beer geeks to start, obviously, and they're so passionate about their what they love that they think I'm going to make it myself. I can make it better. I care about my ingredients, therefore I know my suppliers and my supply chain. I care about doing the very best job possible in my operations, therefore I reduce waste and optimize the process. I care about my customers because they're my neighbors, and I care about my coworkers because they're my neighbors, and so it's very community embedded, and I think being embedded in a local community is one of a genesis for thinking about your environment and wanting to preserve it. Sustainability is a broader category that doesn't just mean environmental stewardship, but also is how we create our culture and how the relationship that coworkers have to each other. So within sustainability for New Belgium is that we're 100% employee owned, that we have a democratic workplace, and that we have benefits that people kind of bring their whole self to work. So because we're a corporation, we think of sustainability in terms of it's human-centric. So where if you're just an environmentalist, you can think about nature for nature's sake, but we have maybe more of an instrumental view of nature, like how do we preserve a quality of life worth living? And that aligns very well with craft beer, right? Craft beer is one of the things that makes life worth living, and so I think it aligns well with like the joy of being alive. So that's kind of what we try and communicate. So preserving natural environments, being able to have clean water to make clean beer, like all these things are woven together into what makes a good life.
Is there a point at which scale might compromise some core value?
One of the things that we've charged ourselves with, part of the challenge for us, is to prove that you can grow and stay true to your beliefs. I mean, that's the interesting nugget there. So can we have 2 breweries and still have the same culture, or as good of a culture in both? Can we be have the pressures that larger companies have and still stay true to our beliefs? And going to 100% employee ownership at the end of 2012, I think for us was a huge hurdle in enabling that to secure our legacy, because succession planning is real, like the turnover of capital has to happen. And so one of the options, an obvious option, was to be bought by another brewery. That's what Anheuser-Busch did. That's what many craft brewers are having to do. And if we had gone down that route, then we would have lost control of our destiny. Mm-hmm. But by getting the financial deal put together that we could sell to our coworkers, we have ensured that we will be able to stay true to who we are.